Hello, sports fans and baseball fans and Strat-O-Matic fans and fans of the 2005 World Series replay, which I am doing, in which we are now in Game 6 of the postseason that just will not end. I mean, how many of these series have gone 7 games? So anyway, we are in the midst of Game 6 of the World Series. Coming into this game, the LA Angels, or California Angels, or whatever you want to call them, are up in the series 3-2. So if they win today, they win the World Series. But we know that's not going to happen for a number of reasons. One is it would be great to just be done with this series, but they're not, the baseball gods are just not going to let that happen. But the second reason is that Houston is pitching Roger Clemens, Roger the Rocket Clemens, while the Angels are pitching Gregg, so that they have everybody rested up for Game 7 if there's a Game 7. Plus, they're going up against Roger Clemens. You're not planning on beating Roger Clemens, even if you got Christy Mathewson going against him. So those are a couple of the reasons why, see you next week. But we'll see. I mean, what kind of a storyline would it be if Gregg beats Roger Clemens? So, in that vein, we're going to talk about Roger Clemens. He was 13-8 during the regular season with a 187 earned run average and 211 innings pitched. Gregg was a starter/reliever. He pitched 64 innings, allowed 70 hits. He had a 504 earned run average. And so we're going to have to see how he fares against this Houston lineup. Now, we are back in California, so this is a DH game. And also I should mention, unless you didn't get the memo, this is the 2005 Houston Astros, who actually were in the World Series in 2005 against the 2005 LA Angels, who were eliminated in real life by the White Sox. But in my series, that didn't happen. So this is how we are doing this. So the first batter for the Houston Astros will be Willie Taveras, the center fielder. And he gets a 3-8, which is a ground ball third base. So third baseman throws him out, and that's going to be a 5-3. We got one down quickly. We're starting the action. Craig Biggio gets a fly ball A, but there's nobody to fly ball A into another scoring position or up another base. And that is a fly ball A to left field. So that's going to be an F7. And there's 2 down quickly. And that brings up one of the killer bees, Lance Berkman. He gets a 2-6. It's a pop out to third base. Pop out 5, and Gregg has acquitted himself very well here in the first inning. We go to the bottom of the first with Sean Figgins up. Mr. Sean Figgins. He gets a 2-11, which is a ground ball to the first baseman, and he is out. Also, I want to mention there are several injuries in this game, so you may see some people that you are not accustomed to seeing playing, a la Mike Lamb in the Houston lineup when we get to him, and that is due to injuries. Garrett Anderson gets a 1-6, and that's going to be a line out to second base. Line out to 4. There are 2 down very quickly, and Vlad Guerrero gets a 6-3, and on Clemens' card, that's a fly ball to the left fielder. Now, they don't have the greatest defense. Let's see what 10-3 in the outfield is. It is an out 5. So that's going to be an F7, and the Angels go just as quickly in the first as did the Astros. And how do you like my multicolored base runners? We've got, we're representing everybody. Morgan Ensberg gets a 110, and that's going to be a home run, Ensberg. So Ensberg puts Houston up big. Leave it to the Ensberg man. And that's going to be a hit allowed by Kevin Gregg, a run, an earned run, and a home run. And they are up 1-0. Mike Lamb is the batter. He gets a 3-7. That's a single. So Mike Lamb with a single, and now all of a sudden Kevin Gregg is just falling apart. Now we are going to have a quick hook on Gregg, but maybe not this quick. 5-7 is a single. Well, maybe. We'll see. Because now you got, everybody, now they're just hitting the crap out of him. Which brings up Orlando Palmeiro, and he gets a 6-8. And that is going to be a ground ball to the second baseman, and the second baseman in this particular lineup is, who is he? He is a 3, and that is a 2, and that's not going to be good, people. That is not good at all. 2-3 is a single 2. So a run scores, and there are runners at the corners. And Gregg gives up another hit, another run. And at this point, maybe they're just ready to say, hey, how about Game 7? Because there's no outs yet. 3-7 is a fly ball left field B. That'll score the runner on third, and there is only one out. And that was a fly ball left field, so yeah. And that was Ausmus, who flew out to left field, but got a sac fly for his effort, and it is 3-0. And you got to believe that's probably enough for Clemens, but we'll see. Adam Everett gets a 2-9, and that's a strikeout. That's the second out, and first strikeout for Gregg, who's having as bad a second inning as he had as good a first inning as he had. And that is a 6-9, and that is going to be a strikeout. But he does manage to strike out the final two guys and get out of the inning with no more damage, although the damage that was done was 3 runs by Houston with Roger Clemens pitching. Again, do I have to reiterate that? Benji Molina gets a catcher card X. The catcher is Ausmus, and he is a 1. That is a 17. I'm going to assume that's probably an out. Wild pitch followed by a foul out. So it is. Foul out to number 2, his opposite guy. Erstad gets a 2-11, which is a line out to first base. Line out to 3. And up steps Orlando Cabrera, gets a 3-5. That's a single. Maybe they can start a little something here. It's a base hit off the Rocket. And Juan Rivera is up, and he gets a 6-3. That is a fly ball to the left fielder. The left fielder is a 3. That is a 16. Let me see what 16-3 happened to be. It's an out 4. So that is going to be an F7, and no more damage is no damage at all is done, and it's 3-0. Going to the top of the third with Bijan up, and he gets a 2-7, which is a fly ball left field B. So Biggio gets an F7, resulting in an out. Lance Berkman gets a 6-9. That's a strikeout. And so now Kevin Gregg is going back to doing his impression of Roger Clemens. And Ensberg gets a 6-10, and that's going to be a ground ball to the shortstop. The shortstop for the Angels is a 2, and that is a 6, and I believe that's probably an out, and it is. So that's going to be a 6-3 and an out, and Gregg comes on and pitches like he did in the first inning, although the second inning, where he was terrible, might be the deciding inning. Steve Finley comes up to face the Rocket, and it's a 4-6, which is going to be a single. So Finley with a hit. He's a stealing C, so they're not going to try to steal with him. is Turris, gets a 5-11, and that's a ground ball first base, and he is a 3, and that is a 17. 17-3 is a one base error on Berkman. So that's going to be not good. That's an E3. And with 2 on and nobody out, you got the top of the order coming up in Figgins. And he gets a 2-8, which is a single 1 asterisk. So the bases are going to be full here. So how does Clemens deal with the full bases? And we're going to see. We are going to see how he deals with it with Garrett Anderson up. And he gets a 4-5, and that's going to be a single double asterisk and knock in 2 runs. And now the Angels are roaring back. Clemens gives up another hit. He gives up 2 runs. Only one of them's earned because one of those guys got on by an error. And, yeah. Okay. So let's see. 3 hits. Yep. We're ready to go. We're ready to go. So with runners at the corners and no outs, you've got Vladdy. Vladdy! Oh my God, Vladdy! Vladdy just hit a 3-run home run. And he might have just brought this thing home for the Angels. But you've got Gregg pitching on the other side. So you don't know. But Clemens gives up a hit, a home run, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Yep. And now the bases are empty, but there is still there's still no outs, and Molina is up, and a ton of runs just came in. 6-8. That's going to be a fly ball to center field. Fly ball 8, 1 away. And you got to believe that there's nobody in the Houston bullpen better than Clemens. In fact, I can verify that fact. So 5-5, that's a strikeout. That's going to be the second out. And for Clemens, that's only his first strikeout of the game. There's 2 down, and Orlando Cabrera comes up. He gets a 1-8. That's a pop out to third base. So pop out 5. But they get 5 runs to take a 5-3 lead, and we go to the top of the 4th inning. And this is crazy. They're shell-shocked. And Mike Lamb is the batter. And he gets a 2-6, which is a strikeout. So if Gregg can keep pitching like the guy across the dugout, across the field from him, 3-11, that's a ground ball third base. Bagwell grounds out to third base. 5-3, and Palmeiro is now up. And Palmeiro gets a 1-6, and that's a ground ball shortstop. It's a 6-3. And no runs come in. And maybe I jinxed Houston, but hey, I'm not upset about that. Juan Rivera comes up. He gets a 3-6. That's a walk. So he walks. The Clemens walks Juan Rivera. First walk of the game issued by the Rocket. And Steve Finley up, and he gets a 5-10. That's a ground ball C to second base, so that's going to advance the runner. Macer is Turris. Gets a 6-6, and that's going to be a fly ball center field B. And up steps Sean Figgins. He's been big in this series for the Angels. He gets a 1-8, and that is going to be a triple, people. A triple, and knocks in that run. And he continues to be big. And Clemens is, again, you know, Houston and Clemens are shell-shocked here, but what are they going to do? Like, there literally is nobody better than Clemens on this team at pitching. Garrett Anderson gets a 6-5, and that's going to be a strikeout. So he strikes out, and that's the second strikeout for Clemens. And another run came in for the Angels in that inning, and so now they have a 6-3 lead. Now remember, Kevin Gregg is pitching for the Angels, so let's not just hand this to California just yet. Brad Ausmus comes up. He gets a 3-11 though, and he grounds out to shortstop, which is a 6-3. That's one down. Adam Everett gets a 5-7. That is going to be a single. So, like I said, we don't know. That's the fifth hit allowed by Kevin Gregg. Taveras gets a 6-4. That's going to be a catcher card, but he has a good catcher. It is Molina, and he is a 2, and that is a 2. And a 2-2 at catcher is out on dribbler. So he throws him out at first base, but the runner advances to second. And that's going to be a 2-3. And Biggio up. And he gets a 3-10, which is a double and knocks in a run. This is banned. This is a free-for-all right here. So Gregg gives up a hit. He gives up his 4th run. And it is now 6-4. And Berkman up, and he gets a 6-3, and that's a ground ball to the first baseman. The first baseman, though, is Erstad, and he is a 1, and that is a 4. So I'm believing that's going to be an out, and it is. And so that is a ground out 3. But Houston gets 1 run in the 5th. Now, the problem the Angels are going to have is that they, too, much like Houston, they don't have a very good bullpen. I mean, they just don't. But Guerrero is up, and he's going to try to give them a bigger lead and make that not even necessary. 4-7, that is a walk. So, I mean, they're working it. They are working the rocket. That is only the second walk issued by Clemens. Molina gets a single, and that's going to be runners at first and second. They are not going to try to extend it. They don't see the need. I mean, Clemens just doesn't seem to have his stuff, so Erstad is going to step in and say, hey, 4-7, I'm walking, and the bases are loaded. Again, there is no better pitcher. I'm going to say this again. There's no better pitcher on Houston than Clemens. So there isn't a guy you can bring in who should do better. Cabrera gets a 6-10. That is going to be a fly ball left field B and knock in another run, and it's only 1 out. So it's a sac fly. And another run coming in. And this is uncharacteristic Clemens. I mean, nobody expected this. Juan Rivera gets a 2-7, and that is going to be a double 1-7. Are you kidding me? It's a single, though, double asterisk, and still knocks in a run. This is crazy. All right, I guess they will relieve him after this inning because, I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, really. Steve Finley gets 6-11. That's a fly ball right field. The right fielder is not good, I don't think. He's a 5. That's Lamb. And that's a 3. The worst possible combination of things. No, it isn't. It's an out. It's an out 4, though. And an out 4 is runner's hold. So, actually, that was a good thing. All right. And now that brings up Izturis. Macer Izturis. And he gets a 1-6, and that's going to be a line out third base. Line out 5. But they do get 2 runs. They strike for 2 more. And so that's going to buy Gregg, that's going to buy Gregg another inning because the score right now, as it stands right now, is 8-4. Morgan Ensberg is up. He gets a 4-3. That is going to be a single. So Ensberg hitting a single, getting on, doing his part. Mike Lamb gets a 6-8. That's going to be a ground ball second base. The second baseman is a 3, and that is a 4. That's not going to bode well. I don't know. It is an out 1, actually. So there's 1 out, man at second. And Jeff Bagwell up. Bagwell gets a 3-7, and that's a walk. So now there's 2 runners aboard. Man, neither pitcher seemed to want to win this game. Orlando Palmeiro gets a 4-7, and that is a walk to load the bases with only 1 out. This is crazy. I've never seen this crazy crap before in my life. All right. I'm 50, almost 56, so yeah, I have seen it. But 2-3 is going to be a pop-out plus injury for Osmus, and he is going to be injured for a game, I believe, on an 8. That is, he's injured for at least 1 game, and it is a pop-out to the shortstop. So pop-out to 6 makes it the second out of the inning, and Adam Everett is up, and he gets a 5-9, and that is a grand salami for Adam Everett. Adam Everett going deep, and this is some crazy crap right here, people. You're seeing some crazy crap here. So that's a 4-run home run. That's a grand slam home run. He gives up a home run. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And it's going to be 8-7. It's 8-7. Can I say that again? Maybe that buys even Clemens a little bit more time. And that's going to be a 5-7, which is a single for Taveras. Taveras with a hit. I'm thinking Sosha can't wait to get Gregg out of there. Biggio gets a 5-6. That's going to be a triple. No, it's a single-double asterisk. Single-double asterisk. And they are toying with a tie game here. This is the craziest, one of the craziest games I've ever seen. Lance Berkman gets a 4-8. And that is a walk, which will load the bases. And, yeah, Berkman with the walk. And Gregg with his 3rd walk against 10 hits. He's been getting jacked. And Morgan Ensberg gets a 4-3. That is going to be a single, and it's a 1 asterisk single, so it's only 1 run, and that ties the game. And so we have to bring that in, single. This is crazy. Wait a minute. Is that 9 runs? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 9 runs. They took the lead. They took the lead on that. I think, yeah. And so now Lamb is up again, and he gets a 4-8. And that's going to be a walk that's going to knock in another run. This is, I've never seen anything like this. So now it's all of a sudden it's 10-8, Houston. And Bagwell gets a 4-10, which is a fly ball center. The center fielder is Finley. He's a 2. That's an 18. That'll probably be the last out, and it's an 18-2. Yep, it is. It's an out for Lamb. But they do get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 runs right there. And it is 10-8. It is 10-8 according to my calculados. So 10-8, nice scoring thing, and they are going to keep Clemens out there because now they've got the lead and the possibility of winning if he could just pitch like he should. 5-6 is a strikeout for Figgins, right? Yep. That is a strikeout for Clemens. 1 down. Garrett Anderson gets a 2-4. That's a fly ball left field. All of a sudden, they can't even get on base anymore. And that brings up Guerrero, who had a big home run earlier in the game. That's going to be a fly ball to right. The right fielder is a 5, but that's a 7, and I think that's probably an out. No, it isn't. It's a safe on single and error. So it is going to be a base hit and an error. Clemens probably doesn't really appreciate that from Lamb. And Molina up. And he gets a 6-6, which is a fly ball center field. Fly ball 8. And that is going to be it for Gregg, as you might well imagine. California got nothing in the 6th. So Gregg went 6. Let's not say he pitched well, but he did go 6. Now, the game is still close, so they are going to bring in probably a shutdown reliever if they have one. Again, they really don't have one. Efrod, but it's a little early for Efrod. They're going to bring in Esteban Yan. So they will bring in Esteban Yan to try to quell this. Oh, no. I wrote 6 innings for Clemens. He's going to go more than that. 6 innings. It's 6 innings for Gregg. Yan coming on. Palmeiro is the batter. And he gets a 1-9, which is a fly ball center field. And we are in the top of the 7th, right? Oh, wait a minute. We're in the top of the 7th? Right. And that was Palmeiro. And that was 1-9, which is a fly ball center field. Fly ball 8. The next batter is Ausmus, but it isn't Ausmus because Ausmus is injured. So this is going to be his replacement, who probably there is only one guy, I would guess, and that's going to be Raul Chavez. Raul Chavez will be the new catcher for Houston. Now, Raul Chavez in 2005 hit 172. But they're not really concerned about that right now because they have a 10-8 lead. So Chavez gets a 6-9 off of Yan, and that's going to be a home run. So Chavez comes in and he gets a pinch hit. Well, not really a pinch hit, but replacing Ausmus homer. And Yan, the second guy he faces, he gives up a run, and now it's 11-8. And Adam Everett comes on. He gets a 1-9. That's a strikeout. So that's going to be 2 down. Yan with his first strikeout. And Willie Taveras gets a 2-5, and that's a single. Willie Taveras getting a hit. And that brings up Biggio. He gets a 2-6 as a line out to shortstop. But the Houston Astros get yet another run, and it's 11-8. So 11-8, and Erstad going up against Clemoid, and he gets a ground ball third base. So that's going to be 5-3. Bottom of the 7th here. Orlando Cabrera gets a 1-8. That's a pop out to third base. All of a sudden, these guys don't want to hit anymore. They say, hey, we got 8 runs off of Clemens. What did you want from us? So that's a 4-7, and that's going to be a walk for Rivera. Juan Rivera is taking the walk. This has been an uncharacteristically terrible game for Clemens, though. And Finley comes up and gets a 4-6. That's going to be a single-double Astros. And now they've got runners at the corners. But there are 2 down. So Clemens only needs to get the next guy out. Turris is up, and he gets a 6-8, and that's going to be a fly ball center field. Fly ball 8, and no runs come in for the Angels. We go to the top of the 8th. Top of the 8th, Lance Berkman, one of the killer bees, is up. He gets a 6-8. That is a double. So, like I said, you know, it's not like this bullpen is very good at all. Jan gives up a hit. There's a man at second. Morgan Ensberg is up. He gets a 5-3. That's a fly to left. The left fielder is a 3, and that is a 17. That should be an out. It is, but it's an out 1. And now they're going to bring the infield in with a runner 90 feet away and not being able to allow any more runs. And Mike Lamb at the plate. And he gets a 6-6, and that's going to be a fly, or wait a minute, that's going to be a walk. That's probably better than the fly ball B at the moment. So that's a walk for Jan, issued by Jan. And Bagwell is up, and that is a 2-8, and that's going to be a ground ball A, but the infield was in, and I forgot to say that it was back, so that's going to be runners at second and third and 2 outs, and that might have cost him. And that was a ground ball third base A, so it's 5-3. And Palmeiro is the batter. And he gets a 1-7. That's a pop out to first. Luckily, it does not come back to haunt them. But we go to the bottom of the 8th. And now Clemens will be out. So Clemens, he pitches 7. They are not inclined to let him. They're not inclined to let him go another inning. They do have some guys that are decent, I suppose. They're going to bring in Chad Qualls. So Chad Qualls is coming in for the Rocket. And Sean Figgins is the batter. Oh, is Sean Figgins the batter? Let's make sure of that. Yeah, he is. Sean Figgins is the batter here in the 8th, in the bottom of the 8th, with his team down 11-8. And he's going to get a 4-2, which is a fly ball right. So, let's see. Fly ball right. Well, whatever. Garrett Anderson gets a 5-7. That's going to be a single. So maybe they can mount something here against Qualls. Qualls is not a quality pitcher. No. Actually, he wasn't that bad. He was 6-4 with a 328 earned run average in 80 innings. But here is Vladdy. And Vladdy is going to get a fly ball to right field, which is going to be the second out. And with 2 down, here comes Benji Molina, and he gets a ground ball to the first baseman. He is a 3. That is a 16. So what do we got? We got a 16-3, which is a 1-base error. Berkman, I believe, making his second error. And that's going to be an E3. And now you got to wonder. Darren Erstad gets a 2-9, but that's a fly ball right field and ends the inning. No runs coming across there. We go to the top of the 9th with Houston batting. And they are going to bring in, now they're going to bring in F-Rod, Francisco Rodriguez, because they cannot allow any more runs. And is this Raul Chavez again already? No. Well, why is he the guy that's up then? Oh, wait a minute. No, it is. It is Raul Chavez already. So he hit a home run last inning. What's he going to do now? He's going to pop out. What? Yep, pop out to second base. So pop out 4. There's 1 down. Adam Everett gets a 1-8, which is a pop out to short. And there's 2 down quickly for Willie Taveras, who gets a 1-5, and that is a strikeout. And with that quick strikeout that he got, we are going to the bottom of the 9th with California down by the score of 8-11, 11-8. They need 3 runs, and they got to get it off of Qualls. They're going to keep Qualls out there. Cabrera comes up, and he gets a ground ball third base. So that's going to be a 5-3. That's 1 down in the 9th. Juan Rivera gets a 5-9. That's a strikeout. Qualls with the K. And let's see if he can knock it out here with Finley up. And he gets a 4-3, which is the ground ball to the pitcher B. 1-3. And that is it. And as we suspected coming in, although it didn't work out the way we thought it was going to work out, but Houston does win this game 11-8, and they will force a Game 7, and we'll have to see who Houston pitches in Game 7. But right now, that is going to be all for me. Sportsman Z, Bob Zolke, signing off.